Good morning, guys. I'm Kim Trathen, business and marketing coach. And this live stream, we are going to talk about actually creating successful live streams. So I'm going to play you ladies a little music. It is so dreary here. We got pouring rain. I had to dry my hair after dropping my kids at school. So I'm going to get a little tune going for us for some Wednesday fun. I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday today. If you're hopping on, drop me a hello. I'm going to play a little Jason Derulo, and I'm going to take some of the ladies that marked in the event that they were coming so that they know we're starting. Turn this up so you can hear it. Did somebody break your heart? Are you guys a fan of this song too? I love it. Hi, Penny! All right, ladies, drop me a hello. Drop me a hello. We're going to talk about connecting with your audience through live streams. Okay, I need to stop dancing now. All right, I want to make sure. All right, I don't want to get put in Facebook jail. This was bad. I don't know how long I was playing that. Okay, I was going to take the ladies in it, but for some reason, I know I'm live because I have people hopping on, but for some reason, it's not showing for me on my laptop. So if they don't see it, they will have to, they'll have to catch the replay, I suppose. Oh, hi, Sharina. Guys, drop me a hello if you're joining. I'm really excited to chat with you guys about running successful live streams. This is something I get a lot of questions about. And I always have. And one of the things that I want to, sorry, I'm trying to fix my phone. One of the things that I always like to share is that, we're going to talk about this in more detail, but it's okay if you're not super comfortable on live stream in the beginning. But I can't even count the number of women that have asked me how do you make your lives engaging? And we're going to talk about some of the technical things, but a lot of it comes from internal too. And don't compare your first live stream. It's just like we say this in business too, right? Don't compare your first step or your second step or even your third step to another entrepreneur's 30th step. We grow and we change. And it's the same with the live streams. Don't compare your first live and how you feel comfortable or uncomfortable. If comments threw you off or whatever, we're going to talk about all of this. But don't compare your first live stream to my or anybody else's 100th live stream, or I don't know, I've probably done over 100 lives at this point. I couldn't even begin to estimate. So don't compare yourself to somebody who is further along. Yeah, I love starting the day with music. Oh, good morning, Kristen. I see you're on. Sharina. Hi, Lisa. Oh, good. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sharina. When it's closer to hair washing day, I can't be the only one that only washes their hair a couple times a week. Hey, I got dry shampoo, ladies. Don't worry. Don't worry. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing is, as I was just saying, don't compare. And I have some notes here because I don't want to miss anything. First and foremost, if you haven't gone live before, if you're not regularly using it, or maybe you've done it once, the reason live streams are so important to be included in your content strategy is for a couple of different reasons. Number one, Facebook prefers live content. I think all the platforms do. Okay, I think Instagram does too. Video content is what people are consuming. And I'm not gonna get super into the stats with you guys. You can Google it. There's tons of articles out there that give the stats of how much video is consumed every year around the world. I know a couple years ago when I did I did a live speaking presentation at a conference all about including live video. At that point, it was crazy. It was more than 8 million live videos are watched on Facebook around the world every day. Every day! And that includes everything, right? And the amount of hours of video that are consumed every day is astronomical, but it includes everything from professional videos to personal videos to, listen, ladies, if you're bored and you're looking for something to become a time suck for yourself, just Google baby sloths in pajamas. They're the cutest darn videos I've ever seen in my life. Don't Google it if you don't want to get stuck into a time warp. Okay, all of those videos, the silly ones, the educational ones, all of those videos are included. in general, people watch far more video than they will to sit and read content. You also might reach a different audience, right? It depends on who you're serving. But if you are on social media, if you are using social media as one of your lead generation tools, as a way to serve your community, then live video is something that you really should be including. The other reason that live video is so incredibly important is because this is the time for your audience to get to know you better. Right? You can read a post from me, and if you have followed me for a while, or if you have other mentors that you see live, or you see them in pre-recorded videos, but you've watched their videos, you know their mannerisms, you know how they speak, you can read their written content with their voice in your head. Hand up if you've ever done that, right? And like we do this with celebrities, right? Morgan Freeman, if you see a quote and it says Morgan Freeman, like you read it in his voice. And the more your audience gets to know you, the more they start to understand, right? Like, is she funny? Is she sarcastic? Is she loving? And the tone associated with the words is really important, right? Because you can read, I'm sure we've all had that. Maybe it was a text message with your sister, right? We've all had that where it's like you read something and you're like, are they being snotty? Like, you can't tell because there's no tone to infer it. So the more your audience gets to know you, the more they start to understand your tone and your mannerisms. And now that's going to carry through when they read your written content. Let me know if that makes sense. I'm just going to make sure no other comments have come through because sometimes, Facebook and technology and they don't load. Okay, I think we're good. Guys, drop comments or questions anytime that you have them. This is your time to ask questions and get feedback from me. So I'm just making sure we stay on time too because I have a client call. So making sure we stay timely today. Hi, Kelly. It looks like you're hopping on. So live video is really what your audience wants to consume. Okay, this is that chance. Like I just told you guys, drop questions. Even if I do, okay, there's kind of a hierarchy. So when you're on social media, and I'm going to talk about Facebook specifically because obviously we're all on Facebook and we're all using Facebook. There is a hierarchy for content and how it's going to be promoted by Facebook. Okay, Facebook, your video content is your top tier. But then when it comes to live video or pre-recorded, live video is going to rank higher. They're going to promote it out to more people than pre-recorded video. But, and I don't have something hard and fast I don't have like a written statement from Mark Zuckerberg saying that, but I think most entrepreneurs have been able to see that in their own business. The other thing, and you may have seen me or heard me mention this before, I have heard that it's about the 10-minute mark is when Facebook is really going to promote out for people. Have you ever looked in your messenger and you see where Facebook sends you a message that says like, hey, Kim Trafton is live right now? I have heard that it's around the 10-minute mark of when they start promoting that out. So if you really want to get the most bang for your buck, right? This is what we're talking about. This live stream today, I am talking about some of those fears in the beginning and getting started, but the focus on this live stream today that I'm sharing with you guys is not just about conquering your fears of going live. It's running the most successful live stream that you can. And that may not look the same when you're just so scared you're trying to conquer those fears. Okay, so your live video is going to start getting promoted out. So if you want the most people on your live stream that you can get, if you want the biggest reach, plan for more than 10 minutes of content. Plan for 20 or 30 minutes of content because that's going to give Facebook time, whatever they do behind the scenes, the magic that they work with their algorithm, and they're going to start promoting your live stream out to more people. Let's see, it looks like Prabhashni just submitted a question. So happy to see you. And I owe you a video response. I just watched your video question to me a minute ago. So Prabhashni asked, what are your tips when it comes to still staying focused, smile, and keeping going on your live when you have just a few watching the live? This can be challenging. That's an interesting question. It's honestly something that never bothered me when I first started. I usually have, there's a lot that goes into it, right? How much did you promote the live? Did you promote it for days, weeks? Did you have people sign up? Did you jump on and you didn't announce it to anybody? Did you create an event and invite people? There are so many factors that influence how and when people are actually able to join you. Did you do it at a time of day, right? Like for me, I serve entrepreneurs around the world. I'm juggling all different time zones. So I know for me, it doesn't always work in my schedule, but I know for me, if I go live in the morning hours, I'm going to have more people that hop onto the actual live, because my amazing clients that are in time zones after me, like you, Prabhashini, right? South Africa, the South Africans are usually 6 or 7 hours, or I guess it'd be ahead of me, right? It's later in the day for you. So if I do a late afternoon time, I'm going to have fewer people on my live. That's just a reality of it, because my audience is sprinkled around the globe. If you're only serving local people, let's say you're a coach and you only serve people that are local to you for whatever reason, you've decided that's what you want to do, and you only serve local people, and you are working with busy moms working in corporate that want to start a business and leave their job, your live streams are probably going to be more watched after their workday ends, right? Because they're at work. You're trying to help them leave. So it really comes down to knowing kind of those, thinking about your audience and thinking about what time of day is going to be best for them to get on. But then it comes down to how you've promoted it, right? How did you announce it? Did you do a written post? Did you do the event? Are you live streaming from your business page is going to get much lower reach than if you go live from your personal page. If you go live from your personal page, you're going to have way more people hop on. Might not be all of your ideal clients. Or obviously like this, if you run a group, and you go inside, you go live inside your group, then obviously it's only your group members that are going to see it. Because if your group is a closed group, you can't share a live stream any place but inside the group. So because I'm going live from inside the group right now, I can't go on my laptop and share this out to my personal page to expand the reach, because it's a closed group. But I think I had the mindset in the beginning, and I don't know, tell me if this helps you, Prabhashini. I think I had the mindset in the beginning. Well, okay, when I did my first live, I didn't even want people on. I was so scared that people were going to be on. I told nobody. I hopped on live for like 1 minute. I should try to pull it up and share it with you guys. I don't know if it's still out there. It was horrible, and I was like, and I felt like I was going to throw up. So I didn't really want anybody on it. The thing that I think carries a live stream is that, yes, there can be this type of engagement, right, where I read your comment and I answer it. Other than that, a live stream is you literally carrying on a one-sided conversation, right? Like, you're not physically in front of me right now. I can see your little names. I can see the little eye symbol. 8 people are watching right now. But it's really like a one-man show when you do a live. And so because you're carrying on a one-sided conversation, it doesn't really matter if anybody is watching it live or not. For me, it was never an issue. It's like, yes, I was nervous and my lives were terrible in the beginning, but it wasn't so much like, how do I show up when there aren't people showing up on the live with me? That actually gave me some peace of mind in the beginning. So just remember that it really is a one-man show. You can say things like, hey, when you guys are catching the replay, just drop me a comment and let me know that you watched the replay. Or, you can do things like I'm going live from my phone, and when I was playing the song in the beginning, I was trying to pull up the live stream on my laptop so that I could tag the people that marked that they were coming or marked that they were a maybe in the event, so that they knew I was actually live right now, so that they didn't miss this training and miss their opportunity to ask questions. Because that's the other thing, ladies, is really thinking about the value of your live stream. Right? Above anything else, your live stream is your chance to serve your audience. It's a chance to educate them, train them, support them. It's an opportunity for your audience to get to know you, and an opportunity, like for me, it's giving my audience, it's giving you ladies an opportunity to get some coaching from me for free. Right now, this one is specifically about running live streams. So the coaching I'm giving you today is specifically around creating this type of content to have the most impact for your clients, your potential clients, and to have the most impact for your business. Okay, so keeping that in mind, remembering it's really a one-sided conversation that you're carrying on. One thing that I used to do, and I know a lot of women have asked me about this, so I'm going to include this in my little tips that I give you right now. I used to always write an outline. Now, even right now, I have some notes written down because I don't want to forget any of the points. I think they're all super important, and I don't want to forget any of the points while we're chatting live here. Don't be afraid to make yourself an outline. When I first went live, I was so nervous. I was nervous I was gonna forget to introduce myself and say my name. So in the very beginning, the first couple lives I did, I'd literally write down intro, hi, I'm Kim Trathen, business and marketing coach. Like I would write it down so that it would cement it in my brain, not so that I sat there reading from it on the live, right? That would be weird for people. But I did it so that it would practice it in my brain and cement it in my brain. The other thing, if you are new to going live and you're really scared that you're going to forget, number one, it's totally fine to say like, hey, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything today and glance down at your outline. But the notes you have in front of you, I really would make it just an outline, just topic points that will jog your memory about what you want to speak about. Does that make sense? I hope that's helpful. Hi, Magdalena. Good to see you on. Okay. Prabhashini said, thank you, Kim. Yes, 6 hours ahead of you. I know I always say behind, and that is the wrong direction. It is not 6 hours behind me. So if you haven't been incorporating live streams, or if they haven't been successful for you right now, this is your time to really sit down and assess why. Okay, one of the things, and I've spoken about this at different events, I did some research before that conference that I was speaking at. This was a couple years ago now. I did some research as to why some people are so terrified of going live on Facebook. Now, I couldn't really just research that, but what I researched is going live on Facebook is just another form of public speaking. Right? I'm not up on a stage in front of you guys right now, but I view my live streams very much as the same as I view when I do a speaking event, when I am up on stage presenting. Okay, it's even up on stage, you're a one-man show, and I'm assuming you're speaking alone, right? You're presenting. You're a one-man show, and you are carrying on a relatively one-sided conversation with the audience. You might have some applause, you might have some cheers, like you can hear that type of feedback, but you're not sitting and engaging in a one-on-one conversation. So I really started thinking about what is this fear around public speaking? Because time and time again, and I think this was in a Psychology Today, again, this was a couple years ago, so I didn't pull up these stats, but time and time again, reported by Psychology Today, that when people are polled about their number one fear in life, it's public speaking. It rates higher than death. Like people are more afraid of public speaking than they are of dying. Doesn't mean anybody wants to die, right? But on a survey, they report they are more afraid of public speaking than they are of dying. And I found that really interesting. Like to think about that, like we're so afraid to speak in front of people. So I did a little bit deeper research and I read an article trying to figure out where that fear of public speaking comes from. So I read an article that said that the fear of public speaking, that psychologists think it's deeply ingrained in our brains. And that it goes all the way back to the days when people were like in tribes, and that if you were ostracized from your tribe, it was a death sentence, right? Because you couldn't survive on your own. You couldn't be the hunter and the gatherer. You relied on your community and you relied on your tribe to stay alive. So this fear of public speaking, they think it comes from the fact that if we feel ostracized, if we feel like we're going to get kicked out of our tribe, way back when, that was a life or death situation. And they think that our brains have kind of hung on to that. And that if we get ridiculed when we're public speaking, if we get ridiculed for our beliefs, how we say them, what we're presenting on, our opinions around it, that deep in our brains, getting criticized for that or called out for that triggers this fear that runs as deep as the fear of death, because if you get ostracized from the tribe, you now die, okay? And even though that's not what happens in today's day and age, that's what our brains do. This fear response that we have to going live can be nothing more than the brain's way. It's a reaction of the brain, right? It's a reaction to the stimulus that you're afraid to do. And there's that fight or flight syndrome, right? So we want to make sure that you're not running from it and that you're conquering this fear and going live. This is the number one way to serve your audience, right? Whether you have a Facebook group, whether they're on your Facebook page, whether you're on Instagram, video is a great way for you to be able to serve your audience. Does that make sense? So see, I'm just going to check here a minute. Talked about that. Yes, your comfort zone. That's kind of what I was saying there. So here is what I love about live video, and here is why people gravitate toward video over written post. This is the time for your personality to shine, right? I start with music because, I mean, music has kind of always been part of my life. Like, I'm a terrible singer. I'm not a very good dancer. I can't play an instrument to save my life, but I love to sing and dance kind of stupid to music. I always have. I taught Zumba. Like, I guess I have enough rhythm to teach Zumba. I just love singing and dancing, and music lights me up. So it makes sense for me to kick off my live streams with music because that's part of who I am, right? It's your chance to let your personality shine. If you find that incredibly uncomfortable, I don't want anybody sitting here saying, well, Kim starts with music, so I'm going to play a song and I'm going to feel awkward and I don't know what to do. I don't like to dance in my chair, or who knows, whatever. Then don't do that, right? You might have something that makes you more comfortable. There is Michaela is her name, and Michaela Alexis, I think. She's a huge LinkedIn force. She's super young. She has literally been an influencer in changing the face of LinkedIn. Her whole thing is how much she loves coffee. That's her personality. I do have coffee in here, by the way. That is her personality quirk, her personality trait, and it's something that makes her a little bit unique and different online. So like, she'll even end her post with like, love and coffee, Michaela. And she's done posts about the hundreds of coffee mugs that her fans have sent to her, right? There are all different ways, but let your personality shine, because the things that you might be holding back on, the things that might make you kind of unique, but you might even be a little bit insecure about them, are the things that other people are really attracted to. Okay, and in my corporate life, I was always very self-conscious of the fact that I talk with my hands, and the fact that my voice goes up and down, and I get really excited, and I start to talk really fast, because in that life, that wasn't respected, right? I got ridiculed for that. But in this space, I can truly be who I want to be in my business, and I attract people that appreciate that, or look up to that, or just think I'm quirky Kim, whatever it is, right? But in my professional life, I found that I was holding back those areas of my personality, where now I can really highlight those in my business. So really letting your personality shine, so incredibly important. And right, good and bad. So if you have somebody that's watching you and they are wondering if you are the coach for them, you are the consultant for them, you are the person that they want to work with, live video is how they can get to know you better, because they can see those quirks. If somebody cannot stand, I'm normally considered a pretty high energy person. If somebody can't stand that, well, they're certainly not going to want to sign up for coaching with me. And that's okay, right? I'm not for everybody. You're not for everybody. That's one of the reasons that I like to get to know people before we work together, okay? That's one of the reasons we want to make sure we're a good personality fit. But that is something, your energy and your presence, whether you're super high energy, super calm and collected, super intuitive, a deep thinker, whatever it is, one personality isn't better than another for coming across on live video, but your personality is what's going to attract your people to you. Hi, Jacqueline. I'm glad that you could come on. So for me, some things, because it matches my personality, some things that I do to bring people in is keeping my lives lighthearted, right? Making it fun for my audience, because I love music. I play music in the beginning. And that my clients, the people that are attracted to me, like that too. It gets them pumped up. I think for a while, at one point in time, I did all my live streams on Fridays. And so it was like a Friday dance party is what I had. Just doing a time check here, make sure that we stay pretty close to on time. The number one thing that I want to make sure everybody knows now is, so we've talked about like why live stream is important. We've talked about why live video outranks pre-recorded videos. We've talked about how important your personality is. We've talked about really your one-man show, right? We've talked about all of this around live videos right now. The number one mistake I see women make is that they do a live stream and then it's just done. And I'm not even talking about a call to action on the live. Yes, always have a call to action, right? Always be thinking about the goal of it. Always have the content mapped out. But what you do with a live stream afterwards is incredibly important, and it's the number one thing that I see entrepreneurs missing. I want to quickly read Jacqueline's comment. Jacqueline said, I'm still debating doing lives, mostly on my group. It's key for our pages, but not a lot are seeing lives in a group. So I'm debating. Oh, interesting. That's really interesting to me, Jacqueline, because I have the complete opposite. I should test it out again. I haven't gone live on my business page in like a year and a half. But in the past, my lives on my business page would get very little reach. But the lives in my group get the people that are most engaged. So yeah, I might test that out and let you know. But your group, typically, I think what I have seen in the past is more typical, because typically the people that follow your page, I know a lot of entrepreneurs have struggled to build an engaged following on a business page, right? Whatever they post, everybody can see it, versus a group feels a little bit more exclusive, private, confidential, because the only people that can see what they post and comment are inside the group. Plus, your group members can make their own posts. I don't believe you can allow that on a business page. I'm not entirely sure about that, so maybe you can. So yeah, my lives from a business page. Now my lives from my personal page, right? That's totally different. And go back and watch the beginning. We did touch on that a bit. But yes, your live stream from your personal page is going to get a huge, a lot more people jumping onto it because the reach is so much bigger. Oh, for ads. Okay, I get good group engagement just thinking for ads, retargeting, reaching a bigger market. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing there. And you can, okay, this a little bit ties into the point that I was going to make of what happens to a live stream when it ends. Because you could, right, the group is closed, so I don't think you can use an ad to retarget a live stream right inside of a group. I haven't been running, I just turned some ads back on recently, and I hadn't run ads in over a year. So I haven't tried to run any to a post like that, like boosting the post. But you could, I think you can do a workaround if you download it and then upload it to your page afterwards. So I think that would be a workaround around it, is actually using that live that's inside your group. Assuming nothing confidential was disclosed or anything like that, but using the live inside the group, downloading it, uploading it as a regular post to your business page, and then you could run the ads from there. So I think that might be a workaround, which is exactly what I wanted to talk about, of what happens when the live stream ends. Because so often people are like, oh, I just did a live, or I'll hear from women, live video, like I don't think I'm very good at it. It takes time, you got to plan it. Then there's the time on the live, and I just don't think it's going to bring me clients, or it hasn't brought me a client yet. Guys, live streams can be a really powerful way, but it doesn't always happen overnight, especially if you're not very good at them at first. But the power of the live stream does not end when the live ends. And if you're on my email list, you may have noticed this. I haven't always been consistent with it, but what my goal is, so like we moved, okay guys, we moved in March, so like I didn't do this in March. My goal that I do is I go live, so what is right now? We're early September. September 2, I think, is today. So I'm going live today inside the group, and I'm talking to you about tips for running a successful live stream. After this live ends, I will download it to my computer. I will create a thumbnail for it. I will upload it to YouTube, and I will schedule it to be public on YouTube next month, maybe mid-October, earlier mid-October. I'll go about a month out, and I will have my support team. We will draft an email that will go out to my list linking to that YouTube video next month, okay? Then whatever call to action you gave on your live stream, people are now going to see it again when they check out your live stream on YouTube. Could I leave it in Facebook and link out to the Facebook group when I email my list? Yes, but I don't do that for a very specific reason, actually 2 reasons. Number 1, if you want to then share that content, if you want to cross-promote it on other social media platforms, let's say you're also on LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn people may not be on Facebook, right? And if you're only linking then, if you're doing a new written post and you're only linking back to the Facebook link, you've just lost some people. You've lost some people that were like, man, I would have loved to watch that, but I'm not on Facebook. So by putting it on YouTube, it allows you to more easily cross-promote. You're not going to lose people that aren't on this specific platform. The other reason I put it out on YouTube is because I think we all know by this point, maybe not, maybe this is brand new information to you, but Google owns YouTube. So the more links that I can have right? Like one of the things that I need to do is, because I just went through a rebrand, so I need to have my website linking out to the YouTube page with the replays of these. I need to get a page set up again because I went through a rebrand, so I don't have that right now. Putting content on YouTube is going to help the SEO for your website. So it not only makes my video more accessible for people that aren't on this platform, it not only gets my video in front of my email list for people that maybe didn't watch it, maybe they wanted to and for whatever reason they didn't. It also starts to build your YouTube presence, which gives you better SEO. It boosts your SEO for your website. So that is why thinking about how you can use this content afterwards, right? If you go live for 30 minutes, if you go live for an hour, a lot of my live streams, guys, that we do together, we talk for an hour. That's an hour of my time. And we all know that time is our most valuable commodity. So it is so incredibly important that when you plan out that content, you're not just thinking about what's going to happen on the live stream, but what's the next step after that? How are you going to get the most bang for your buck out of this content so that your time investment that you put into it is something that you're really getting a return on your investment for, a return on your time investment. Hey Jacqueline, you said YouTube is the best. Mine is growing nicely and I get clients from there. YouTube and Pinterest are search engines. Good to focus on them. 1000%. I don't spend a lot of time growing my YouTube. I don't say hey, click the subscribe button, because for me, it is just a tool to use to house my videos and I get a little SEO boost from it. But yes, guys, that's the other reason YouTube and Pinterest, as Jacqueline mentioned, are both search engines, which means if somebody goes out to Google and they search how do I run a successful live stream, if I have this content out on YouTube, now that can come up as a search result for them in Google. They don't have to go to YouTube and search on it, or they don't have to have my link to search on it. Google will give you search results, right on YouTube. Pinterest is also a search engine. So that content continues working for you longer than it does on social media. In general, on social media, you're going to get some traction, especially when you're going live and maybe for about the day afterward. Other than that, unless you promote it somewhere or unless you have somebody that's starting to, in a good way, stalk all of your content that you put out and they're going back and they're watching all your old videos, unless you get the random good, we want these dream client stalkers, unless you get a good stalker like that, people aren't going back and finding. Facebook isn't going to suddenly promote out this live stream because somebody is searching for something on Facebook. Do you see what I mean? It's different. That's why the fact that YouTube and Pinterest are search engines are so incredibly powerful. It's kind of like how blogs keep working for you, right? YouTube and Pinterest, that content, those videos on YouTube, they keep working for you longer because they're going to be presented as a search result for people searching on that content. I'm so glad you brought that up, Jacqueline. I think that's such an incredibly important point. So to recap real quickly, think about what's holding you back. Is it something internal? Is it something external? Meaning, is it a mindset issue, a comfort issue, something that you really just need to dive in and start practicing? Or are you not sure how to set up your tech, right? Super easy from a phone, guys. Super easy. My number one tip, if you're going to go live from your phone, I don't care what kind of phone, iPhone or not, my number one tip is to put on your do not disturb. I can't tell you how many live streams I have had interrupted and shut down because a phone call starts coming in. Okay, so if you're gonna use your phone, I highly recommend you put it on do not disturb. So think about what's holding you back. Think about how can you best serve your audience, okay? That is really what live streams is about, is serving your audience and positioning yourself as an expert. Let your personality shine. You will get more comfortable the more lives you do. When I first started going live, I was in another coach's group, her free group, and she challenged us to go live every day for 30 days. And I had never done a live stream in my life. So really committing to it, I think, is super important. Make it fun. And most importantly, when you're talking about that return on your time investment, make sure that you know exactly what you're going to do with that live stream after it ends, because the value in that content, the power in that content doesn't have to end just because your live stream ended. And make sure you have a good call to action. Okay, make sure you know ahead of time what that call to action is going to be on your live. So I'm super excited for you ladies. I think this is going to be amazing for you to really start getting more power out of your live streams, whether you've used them before or you haven't. And listen, if you are looking at scaling your business, then stick around here for just a second longer. because I have something exciting to share with you guys. So whether you've followed me for a while or not, I am a business and marketing coach, and the number one thing that I do is I help my clients scale their businesses, and I help them scale more quickly by having a specific strategy in place. So I am personally doing some consultations. Okay, it's not my business growth strategist. It's not somebody else on my team. I am personally chatting with some women because I'm looking at expanding how I'm serving my clients. Typically, I have served them from 3 months, and I'm going to expand it out to 6 months of support. I think it's really important. It's really important to have that following 3 months to make sure that as they're implementing the work and as their businesses are scaling, that they don't start to self-sabotage. Okay, so we really focus on the strategy to get regular, consistent clients into your business, but that mindset piece can sabotage you so quickly. If you have been curious about whether working with me specifically, or if you've just been curious about what it might look like to work with a coach, maybe you haven't worked with a coach before, or maybe you are curious about what I actually do and how my clients are able to scale their businesses quickly, just drop me a comment. You can just put like consult in the comments and I will look back through those, or feel free to send me a DM. There is no obligation, guys, but I want to make sure that everybody has a really good understanding of how you can scale quickly, regardless of the pandemic and COVID. Every single thing, I love my current mentor says this, that everything is a story. It's a story in our minds, and how we respond to it is the reality. Is there really a pandemic going on? Yes. But does that mean your business needs to stall? No. That would be the piece of it, guys, that is nothing more than a story in your mind that you're telling yourself. I've had multiple clients scale to and beyond their first 10K months in business during the pandemic. Okay, my one client, Kayla, she's amazing, and she is actually fully booked through the end of the year. So if you are curious, if you have wondered what coaching could look like for you, just drop the word consult, and what I'll do is I will DM you later, or just send me a DM and we can chat, and we can just talk a little bit about what coaching actually means and what that could look like for your business. And then if it's something that feels like a good fit, then we'll talk about if we're going to hop on a consultation together or not. Okay, and the consultation is no obligation, no cost for that too. So yes, just drop the word consult if that's something that you are interested in hearing more about or curious about, because I would absolutely love to help each and every one of you scale your businesses even faster. So thank you, ladies. It has been great. 38 minutes on live with you guys today. If you're catching the replay, the same applies for anybody that catches the replay, to just drop that word consult, and we can talk about what coaching would actually look like for you and how we can hit your goals faster. All right, ladies, have a wonderful rest of your day or a good night. Yes, Jacqueline Boss. I love it. Bye, guys.